All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Here's another news and reviews video with Talks with TJ. We're going to be talking about RHOP Reunion Part 1. I'm going to jump quickly into the news. So since I last filmed, we had received that Candace is now leaving the show voluntarily, and that there is there's rumors circulating around Robin being fired, but she hasn't came forward and said anything, nor has it been confirmed by Bravo. Since like filming this video, the news could be updated by the time I actually post it. But yeah, so there's many different think pieces surrounding why Candace may be leaving the show. My personal opinion is that she's leaving the show because she's going to go pursue her acting and music career. She did exactly what this show was supposed to do. She came on here to give herself a platform and then pivot into like mainstream media with her music and with her acting career. So when we first seen her come onto the show, she had like a co-owned line where she was like making weaves or like selling wigs, and then she was also a part of like a pageant consulting company. We don't know where that's at now, since she has now started to pursue music, and we seen her in like short snippets of like Family Reunion on Netflix, in her acting bag. And I think she's like a series regular on a show. It can't come to my head right now. Like I can't think of it, but basically she's getting into that bag, and she's saying that this isn't permanent, but this is like a farewell for right now. I think that Candace is in every right to leave the show. I always knew that she was going to be Nene Leakes for like the last 3 seasons. Because of her acting career and because of her music career and the success that she was getting from that, I knew that eventually she was going to be too big for the show, like Nene Leakes. She was going to be the star of the show. She was going to be able to pivot. Now, she's not the face of the show like Nene Leakes was in Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I think that belongs to Karen, honestly. Though Giselle is the puppeteer, though Giselle gets the most perks, I feel like what is the established face is Karen. When you see Karen, you know Potomac. So there is other conspiracies to the reason why Candace is leaving Real Housewives of Potomac, and one of them can be shown on the reunion itself. Robin had called out Candace saying that Chris basically was sending text messages of his like limp penis to other women. So it was alluding to infidelity in their marriage. I always knew that there would be a power struggle in Candace's relationship, as she is already a type A personality. She's already witty. She's already super talented. She's already super vocal and super confident within herself. I think that it was cute when she was 27 and 28 and still trying to figure herself out and still trying to feel herself out to her husband. But as she's starting to develop into being like a grown-ass woman, very secure in her success, I think that it would be tough for Chris to, one, accept that, because things are changing. So she's probably not home as much. She is probably not as submissive as she was. So these are the things that he was expecting from his wife that he's probably no longer getting. And I'm wondering, is that what drove him, allegedly, this is just my opinion, allegedly, to sending those dick pics or starting to entertain other women. But it's crazy because Robin bringing that up and her husband is consistently cheated on her. We all think that that shit's an arranged marriage. Nobody believes that they're married for the fact that they actually love each other. And you know what? They kind of actually alluded to that because they was just saying that they didn't want their kids to grow up in a home where it was fatherless or motherless, or where they had to go from house to house. So it was just better for them to be together than to be apart. And they're also best friends. So I get that, but I know that it's not a romantic love behind that marriage at all. And most marriages aren't. Marriage was never intended to be this romantic partnership that is like idolized today. It was just for women to be property to men. So with Candace, like, that's one conspiracy. Another conspiracy is that she is pregnant and that she did not want to share that on Housewives, or she didn't want to actually go through her pregnancy with Housewives. But she also said that in the reunion, it was like shaped up in a way that she's actually pushing off her pregnancy as she's trying to pursue her music career. So I'm not sure if that conspiracy is coming to a dead end or not, but time will tell. Moving on to the fight between Candace and Giselle. In my opinion, Giselle's always been nasty. Giselle's always been a mean girl. Giselle has always been honestly like diabolical when it comes to pulling strings and having the right people in her corner so that way she doesn't have to leave the show, but she continues to antagonize and plot against the other women that I feel like she may be intimidated by. You've never seen Giselle have success on this show in anything. Every Hue Beauty has been liquidated. I think this next business venture was for Ashley, them like co-founding this athletic company. I'm not even sure how much success she's actually going to even find behind that. And honestly, I think it's a money grab for Ashley as she is trying to pivot herself out of this show as well, because she was the quintessential housewife. She literally spent her money, spent his money, and his money was her money, and her money was her money. She did nothing to actually put herself in a position where she was going to be able to sustain herself and her two kids on her own without Michael's support, financial support. And this is why they're probably never going to get a divorce. In a snippet in part 2, you can see that she said that she massages his feet every night. So I'm assuming that he's back in the house, because throughout the entire season, she's saying that they live in different spaces, but he has a key to the house. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. He lives there. He lives there. They're back together. She does not want to bring that to the forefront of the show, but we all know what's happening. Ashley can't sustain herself without it. But back to Giselle and Candace getting into it. So in the beginning of the show, there was an energy of trying to move forward and putting things behind them and actually trying to come together as a group. And part of that was taking accountability. The biggest issue right now is between Giselle and Candace, right? It's not even between Robin and Candace. It's between Giselle and Candace, because that's something that's been brewing for the last 3-4 seasons. And we even saw that on the trip that they went on when they went to Bali. I forgot what Real Housewives spinoff show that is called, but we saw that there. We saw her trying to come in with the intentions of being cordial to Giselle, and then Giselle acting like herself. But Giselle laughing Candace out as she is trying to express her feelings. I feel like there's two sides to this. On one side, it's disgusting that the fact that Giselle is laughing her out or trying to make light or trying to make fun of or being that mean girl bullying Candace as she's trying to express herself. But on the other end, I can see where last year Candace was destroying her verbally and she just sat there and took it. And then now this season she's crying. Now this season is looking like she's looking for crocodile. Like it's like crocodile tears. So I can see in Giselle's eyes like this shit's not even believable, because the shit that I've gotten from you over the past 3 years, now you're crying. It just 2 and 2 don't equal up. And I can understand that. At the end of the day, I don't even know if Robin and Candace actually had a genuine friendship. I don't know if they were only friends for the sake of Giselle being able to use Robin to maneuver Candace where she wanted her. right? Where one minute she was cool with her, the next minute she wasn't. It just seemed like we all know that Giselle puts the batteries in the back of Robin's back. And I'm wondering, is that why Robin even got close to Candace in the first place? Because in any other situation, Robin would always align herself with Giselle. I also wanted to talk briefly on how Robin came in to this show as being the laid back girl, the girl who is trying to look for a rebound. And I feel like she was never initially that mean girl until she got fully underneath Giselle and then became that mean girl. So now Robin is that mean girl with the aggression, and then Giselle is that pretty girl that is mean but never will overtly show her meanness. You would just always see how she is plotting. She's plotting with other figures on the group to attack, honestly, the dark-skinned women on this show, because the two biggest issues she has is with Wendy and Candace. But Candace and Wendy, rightfully so, have beef with Giselle because of Giselle's actions. But let's not stay on her too long. Then there's Robin and Giselle. Robin and Giselle, their falling out came from Candace going on the internet basically saying, like, you put your relationship behind a paywall instead of bringing it forward to the show. Robin's defense was a lot of that was happening when we weren't filming, so I didn't want to bring it to the show. But baby, you had issues since season 7. Since that arranged marriage where you said you was going to the Bahamas and then y'all end up doing it on the Chesapeake Bay, we knew that there was an issue then. There was talks about him with another woman in Georgetown then. And then y'all called Karen crazy saying that, yeah, this girl looks just like me. The girl did look just like Karen though. Like it did look like a younger Karen. So I can't even like fault Karen for saying that. Like y'all thought that she was just being arrogant in a sense or being delusional, but she wasn't. Then like jumping back into that two debate, like I lost my train of thought. Like jumping back into Candace and Robin and how that falling out happened. I thought that was inevitable too. I didn't think that friendship was going to last because I knew that Giselle wasn't going to allow that to happen. And I know that talking behind that paywall about Chris and their relationship, and then Candace going online and expressing her feelings towards Robin and how that whole timeline added up, I knew that, like, I just blamed that on Giselle. I know somewhere behind that was Giselle. I just know in my spirit that it is. I understand why her and Robin are no longer going to be friends. I know that all of these women do have in common that they stand 10 toes down on how they feel, right? Once they're done with the situation, they're done. They're not the type of people that can apologize and move on, and I can understand that. Enough has happened over the course of the 8 seasons where you just can't no longer forgive. And then we get into Karen riding the fence, right? Karen rides the fence and wants to be that equal until her and Robin get back and forth. I don't even understand the beef between her and Robin because Karen is such a main character on this show. Like, she's such legacy that I don't even understand how Robin is even a problem. I don't even understand the beef that her and Robin even have. And I'm pretty much sure the beef that her and Robin have, again, stems from the beef that Giselle and Karen were going back and forth with. So I just never understood that. Like, even if y'all were to point out the back and forths that they were having, it's still like Robin's like a fly on the wall. And maybe that's just what it is. Like, Robin's a fly on the wall to Karen, and it's honestly, at the very least, an annoyance. One thing that I did wish that Candace did better was learn how to handle Giselle and Robin from Karen's point of view. Because when Karen was underneath attack, she handled it with grace. She still ate Giselle up every chance she got. She eats Robin up consistently. I mean, consistently eats Robin up. So yeah, they got into their back and forth. They got into their back and forth on the show, and it was quick. It was a quick 2 minutes. Karen ate her up. Robin decided to respond. She just tried to respond, and it didn't get anywhere. So I just, yeah, I don't even understand that power dynamic. But let's get into the most important part of the season, well, the reunion itself, which is at the very end, that was leading into the part 2 that's probably going to be filmed this Sunday, or will be shown this Sunday, is Mia. Mia was seen on the phone with her new nigga, with her soon-to-be ex-husband in the background. She's saying, I love you to the new dude, and then let the new dude speak to the old nigga. That's crazy. That's crazy. The new nigga came to the house where her and her husband stayed, trying to get what he believed was his son, because they don't know if one of her kids is actually belongs to Gordon or not. So then we also get that Gordon was going through like an illness, so that way he couldn't like please her intimately like she needed to. That she's been having affairs for the entirety of their marriage. That this guy has been around prior to Gordon, through Gordon, and now after Gordon. So I'm not even understanding why her and Gordon got married. Well, we all know it was a money grab. Then Mia alludes to the fact that Gordon had fought into the reason why he was kicked out of like the family's company, and all of his assets and money were removed. He was excessively spending. Like him having, like, she, a couple of seasons ago, I'm not sure if she was just lying for the cameras, was she saying that they were renting in multiple places instead of actually owning? But if they were actually just renting in Charlotte, they were renting in DC, they were renting in Baltimore, they had a property here, a property there, and it was all coming from the family's money and him being in strip clubs and shit, no wonder why that shit caught up to him. No wonder why that shit caught up to him. We would never probably know the full extent of what happened unless she brings it to the forefront next season, which I don't think that it's going to pivot to Gordon's issues. It's going to pivot to Mia and this new relationship, and they may bring up the baby, actual father, that whole issue in question. But I don't think that we're going to actually see the truth from that. But Mia by far had the best storyline. Mia by far is the breakout star of Real Housewives of Potomac. And yeah. I'm definitely wasn't a Mia fan in the beginning, but I can see how she's developed into her own character. Even when she talked about that fight that broke out with Candace and Ashley's little friend. She said that girl came up to her first and was just like, you were basically saying that I'm unattractive. And Mia was just like, girl, well, baby, we're all 10s because we're black women. She turns around and goes, well, I knew that you liked me, da-da-da-da-da, and like walked off. Baby's mindless. Ashley's friend is mindless. I don't know if she was looking for 15 minutes of fame. I don't know if... I don't know what she was looking for that day. But for you to get spun like that from Mia and then change your whole perspective on her and then moved on to the next one, like looking for the next argument, and Candace ended up giving her exactly what she was asking for, which I will probably put in the part 2 of the reunion review. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But overall, the reunion was okay. This season was trash. We need NECA gone. You know what? I'm not going to say that. NECA can stay. I would like to see how she changes for the better. But accusing Wendy of witchcraft as trying to be your breakout in season 1 was weird, especially both of you guys being Nigerian. yeah, I would like to see her probably another 2, 3 seasons to see how she rebrands herself. I want to see her rebrand herself in a better light. I want to see Kenya, I believe that's her name, Kiana, as a housewife and not a friend. I think that she would make a great addition to the show. Many people talked about her being like Love and Hip Hop and not really Bravo, but her owning her own business, her being really put together, I think she would be a great addition to the show. We need to see Robin gone. I'm sad to see Candace go, but I know that's really because of the Green Eye Bandits and fat forehead ass Ashley. Um, well, I really know that that's because of the Green Eye Bandits and Ashley. And yeah, like I think that's it. I would like to see Giselle leave, but I know Giselle isn't going to leave. I know she's not going to leave the show. She's the one that's ruining the show, in my personal opinion, but I don't think she's actually going to leave. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the reunion. That's my think piece on them as a whole. Y'all, this has been Talks with TJ, and I'm out.